Hi everybody, so I want to continue talking about co-parenting, and yes, I apologize for the crappy light, it's a little dark out, but anyways, I want to continue talking about co-parenting and more specifically how to put a severe damper and a severe limit on the amount of drama that your toxic co-parent can create. So we've talked about in the past how your child is basically like arguments on tap for your narcissist. They want to twist, abuse, manipulate the child in such a manner that either alienates you as a parent, distresses you as a parent, or distresses the child, and as such distresses you. Because their goal is to destroy you. Like they're like you know, that a boxer in a ring just sitting there just hopping around just waiting for somebody to come in and to fight, you know. They want the fight, they want the fight, they want the fight. They're gonna win, you know. So that's what they're after. So what do you do? Because you can't stoop down to their level. There's a good quote, I believe, by Mark Twain, don't hold me to it, that says you should never argue with stupid people because they'll drag you down to their level and then they'll beat you with experience. So you don't want to really engage directly in a back and forth tit for tat. What you want to do is you want to gray rock, but in a little bit more of a humiliating fashion. So you're going to be a gray rock with a bit of a sting to it. So, and here's what I mean by that. So in my situation with my co-parent, there's a pattern. The pattern is I've got my son every first, third, and fifth weekend, and I've got him every Thursday. So the pattern is she's always going to be hoovering for a fight, either the day before he comes for a weekend, or the day she picks him up. So it's always like, you know, at the very beginning of the visit or at the very end, right? So at the beginning of the visit, she's looking to try and set the tone to a negative tone before my son comes over. At the end of it, she's just been thirsty for a fight. As of late, there's been much less of it because of the techniques that I've been using, and that's what I want to share. So for one, this was a beautiful thing, and I won't reveal all of my sources, but I have managed to make my life such that the messages that come from her don't actually come to me. They go to somebody else completely and entirely, and I'm out of the loop 100%. I have access to see the messages, but usually my third parties just forward a screenshot, and I'll either go and send the reply myself, or I'll ask them to send the reply for me. It works out great, because at that point, your abuser is trying to hoover somebody who could really give a damn, and who's really, honestly, just completely impervious to all of their triggers and button pushing. And the narcissist has no clue that they're pushing the wrong buttons. And that's what makes it so absolutely beautiful. Because, like I've said before, breaking the game, you know, if you're playing Mario and you go to jump and Mario runs backwards, you're like, Jesus, what the hell, you know? The very second you start switching the buttons around on the game and getting unexpected results, it completely ruins the game. So there's that. Like I said before, it works great. It works absolutely great, because then the replies are completely just non-conflictory, non-confrontational. And the funny thing is, your narcissist is trying to manipulate and insult someone for whom those tactics just don't work on. If you haven't looked at the dark psychology videos, check them out, because the #1 rule of dark psychology, of manipulation and control, Rule number one is you have to choose the right victim. Nothing else works if you don't choose the right victim. Manipulation and control and abuse don't work when a narcissist picks the wrong victim, right? A narcissist would never pick a black belt. I don't think so. I would hope not. Well, I don't know. I mean, a narcissist is more likely to be the black belt, but, you know, that's just speculation. But all that being said, you know, a lot of, almost the entirety of the narcissistic abuse, the feeding of the ego, the hoovering, the gaslighting, it is probably 99% enabled or disabled by the choice of victim. So they chose you because it works on you. But there's quite a few people out there in the world on whom it does not work. Anyways, you get the point on that. So, as if that's not enough, the other tactic is, I know the pattern. I know the pattern. You know, I pick up my son on Thursdays. So, on Wednesdays, I know that I'm going to wake up and probably hear from one of my third parties that that a message came in. And usually the reply is already such that, you know, it's like, okay, wow, I can see that you obviously have nothing better to do than to text your ex. You know, this is especially great like on a Friday night. So there have been times where I used to get angry messages on a Friday night, and I was quick to point out, I said, wow, your first Friday night to be free in 2 weeks, and you're sitting around texting your ex. Get a life. Get a life. Don't be pathetic. Those were the words. Get a life. Don't be pathetic. It's the weekend and you're texting your ex. Most especially on a weekend where you don't even have the kids, you're free to do whatever the fuck you want. But there you are, lounging around in your, I don't know, your fucking yoga pants with a bowl of cereal, your hair done up in a half-ass fucked up ponytail, watching Netflix, eating Cheetos and Velveeta, texting your ex, and convincing your husband that you're not actually texting your ex. Get a life. Get a life. Because remember, you're the ex. You're the one that they so proudly discarded. You're the one that they can't stand, that they don't want to be around, who they find so revolting and vile and disgusting. But here they are, messaging you, when they ought to be going out getting laid. So what happened? Well, obviously it looks like the sex dried up. Sorry you don't have anybody to have sex with you. I don't know, trybackpage.com, you know, whatever. Leave me the fuck alone. I have my son, and, you know, we've got plans. We're gonna go have fun. We are going to the carnival. And then again, the same strategy also works right after the kids go to their house, you know. And this is what I've noticed with mine, and your narc may or may not have these same patterns. Upon receipt of the child, it's usually a matter of minutes to hours before I would get an angry message about something that my son said about the house, and you know, I'm a monster, or I'm unfair, or, you know, I've got serious problems, you know, like all this stuff. Like, case in point, you know, drug education, teaching children that drugs are bad, you know. Well, I get asked questions about drugs. I'm like, yeah, you know, cocaine is a drug. It's a horrible drug. It's a deadly drug. You know, that's what you need to know. It's very dangerous. It's very deadly. Shitload of fun. But can't tell them that. But no, it's also very dangerous, you know. Stay far the hell away from cocaine. And then I get this angry message, you know, it is insanely inappropriate to have a conversation about cocaine with our son. What kind of an animal are you? I swear, blah, 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 blah. Now, I could sit there and I could say, well, you know, we're talking about, you know, drug abuse, resistance education, dare to be drug-free, all that stuff. I could. Or I could say, okay, so, it's like, wow, so less than 3 hours after picking up Hayden, and I see that, you know, that the high point that you've just been itching all weekend to have something to fight about. You just got your son, and yet the first thing on your mind is not to spend time with him, but to fight with your ex-husband. I don't understand why fighting with your ex-husband is a priority right now, considering the fact that you haven't seen your son in several days. You know, it's literally as if you've only spent enough time with him to ask him enough questions to pick a fight with your ex-husband. I mean, why would you do that? That's pathetic. Get a life. I don't know. Maybe show legitimate interest in your son instead of just locking him in his room playing video games. You know? Talk to the boy. So, you know, that's the thing. Always remember, you're the pathetic ex who isn't worth their time. And carry that flag and wave it loud and proud and draw attention to it. Because they're the ones who are talking so much shit about you behind your back. They're the ones saying how you're so vile and disgusting and how their stomach turns at the sight of you. But they can't help themselves but to come talk to you. Bitch, I moved on. Why are you messaging your ex-husband? You don't even refer to yourself as you. You refer to yourself as the ex. Why are you messaging your ex-girlfriend? Why are you messaging your baby mama on a Friday night? Why are you messaging your baby mama on a Sunday night when you just returned your child and you just became child-free again? Shouldn't you be going out there crushing all the pussy like you claim to be so good at? No? Oh, well, get a life. Go get laid. You know, Captain Charming, or I don't know, what is it, Prince Charming, or whoever, whatever royalty of the charms. You see what I mean? So you don't make it about you. Never, ever, ever make it about you. Never ask questions. Always make it about the fact that they're the ones sending the first message to an ex. That's how you do it. Game of Thrones style. Shame. Thank you very much for listening. I'm sorry you can't see my face so well. I don't think you're gonna miss it. Besides, I don't think my nostrils are really the key feature of these videos. Although, in this light, I think they're pretty much the only thing that shows up. I don't know. Please like, comment, or share. I always love the comments. I love talking to people. I love knowing that my videos are helping somebody. If I don't get comments, I feel like a crazy person shouting at the phone. So, please comment so I don't feel crazy. Pretty please. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next video.